Please check this out. Ripple has asked for a date of April 16th, 2025 to submit a brief in their case with the SEC. In their ongoing legal battle, Ripple has recently requested a deadline of April 16th, 2025 to send its brief to the SEC. The SEC has made it clear it won't back down, as it has already filed its first appeal brief after the court decided that some XRP sales are not stocks. Many people were hoping the SEC would change its stance. The SEC has done what anyone would expect. They have decided to appeal the ruling, arguing that the court made a mistake in its main reasoning. The SEC is considering digital assets sold on sites like XRP as securities. Alderodi rejected the OPP SEC's appeal, calling it just noise. He expected that the next government would probably abandon the case and said that the appeal just repeats points that didn't succeed before. New rules that support creativity are coming, and Ripple is confident they will come out on top. In the end, Ripple will succeed in its case against the SEC's challenge. Attorney Jeremy Hogan, who has been following the case closely, has also expressed his opinion against the SEC's appeal. He believes the SEC's reasons are weak and unimpressive. Hogan points out that the SEC has not proven that regular people, especially those who didn't know about Ripple, expected to make money from the company's activities. Hogan suggests that it's very unlikely the Second Circuit will rule in favor of the SEC. Ripple Labs, in its ongoing legal battle with the SEC, has requested the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit to set a date of April 16, 2025 for submitting its appeal brief. It seems that the time analysts expected for the issue to be addressed has been extended due to this development. Ripple shared its plans for the case in a recent court document, with the brief expected to be submitted in mid-April. It is said important people in the disagreement, like CEO Brad Garlinghouse and Executive Chairman Chris Larson, have asked for the same things. The company's legal team has emphasized that it's important to meet this date so they can prepare a strong reply to the SEC's accusations. The SEC first mentioned this in their lawsuit against Ripple in December 2020, claiming that the company sold XRP without registering as a securities seller, as Ripple seeks to challenge parts of a district court decision that favored the SEC. The case is getting interesting. After deciding that some sales of XRP by institutions were investment contracts, those sales were classified as securities deals. The SEC has submitted its initial brief as planned by the court, so they are staying active while Ripple prepares to appeal. The court documents reveal the complicated legal strategies that both parties used to handle Bitcoin regulations. People believe that asking for procedural papers is normal and important for building the case. The decision might have a bigger impact on the cryptocurrency market because it could change how digital assets are regulated and treated under U.S. stock laws. The current government's rules on cryptocurrencies and the upcoming changes in SEC leadership could greatly affect the legal case and its final result. And I guess there's probably something to be said for people like me who aren't really at the technology level. Ripple Labs has asked the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, for more time to submit their next court brief, which is due in 60 days. This occurs as the SEC increases its efforts to challenge a 2023 court decision that said that XRP retail transactions are not stocks. The SEC's decision that XRP trades are considered securities based on the Howey test has not changed. So, except for Bitcoin, all tokens sold and traded in the digital asset market are considered securities. According to the SEC's opening appeal brief, which was filed last week, Ripple's legal team said the SEC didn't show that regular XRP buyers expected to make money from Ripple's business. Pro-crypto supporter Jeremy Hogan said that Ripple's request for more time is normal. He pointed out that the SEC needed 90 days to prepare its opening statement before the new heads at the SEC might affect Ripple's legal approach, taking action against cryptocurrency. Gary Gensler is now the acting head and is a supporter of cryptocurrency like Mark Waida. The Senate is looking at Paul Atkins, who supports Bitcoin, for the job of SEC head. Stuart Alderode, Ripple's legal chief, said the case is likely to get better with the new government. So in the week after Mark Dowd's Warrett, Ripple's legal chief, said the case is likely to get better with the new government. To make things more interesting, the nonprofit group Better Markets has supported the SEC in a legal document called an amicus curiae brief. The group says the previous court decision misinterpreted the Howey test and caused a gap in regulations that could hurt regular investors. Better Markets says that Ripple is misleading buyers into believing that the success of XRP is closely tied to the company's performance through false advertising. Many people are focusing on the connections between Ripple and the Trump government. There are rumors that in December, Stuart Alderode and CEO Brad Garlinghouse talked with Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago. People are wondering if the two have strong political connections that might affect the case because they met, and Ripple's XRP value has gone up to $125 billion since Donald Trump's re-election. A nonprofit based in Washington, D.C. has filed an amicus brief in support of the SEC's appeal against Ripple, showing strong support for the SEC's stance. Better Markets, a group that works to protect public interests in financial markets, says that a recent court ruling about Ripple could greatly impact how investors are protected and the rules for cryptocurrencies. The district court's meaning of an investment contract has worried Better Markets a lot. The nonprofit emphasizes that this choice leaves out many Bitcoin options, greatly narrowing the legal definition. The group's main case against the definition limitation is that the SEC will find it harder to enforce securities rules in the cryptocurrency industry. If the district court decides, as the brief suggests, there could be more chances to invest in options that don't follow the rules. Better Markets warns that if this happens, investors could face scams and other financial risks regularly. Better Markets says that if the SEC's power over cryptocurrency securities is reduced, it will harm investor safety. The brief says that many American buyers could lose money and be exploited if this situation continues. Dennis Kelleher, the CEO of Better Markets, has expressed support for the SEC's stance on regulating Bitcoin. He previously predicted that there is a 90% chance the SEC will win its case against Ripple. The Bitcoin market is largely unregulated, as Kelleher has mentioned. Kelleher had said in a Bloomberg interview that the cryptocurrency business was doing something wrong. Kelleher says that there are no good regulations for the cryptocurrency business right now. As Kelleher noted, authorities feel pressure to catch them whenever possible. If they are wrong, they will pay. Next up, 027. Still, Better Markets is concerned about more than just the problems caused by weak regulations. As seen in its involvement in the Ripple case, Ripple might have good reasons to challenge rules about stocks, especially since the company has won several cases against the SEC and U.S. courts.